When you're a landlord and you have good tenants and things are going great, there's nothing better. As a general rule, when I pick up properties that have tenants, if they're doing good, I don't mess with them. You know, just don't go up and kick a sleeping dog. It's fine. Everything's fine. Leave it alone. But when they become problems, then I start to switch my strategy. I don't like being a landlord. I don't like the tenant calls. I don't like the calls for toilets and repairs. I don't like the move outs and the make readies. I don't like the destruction that happens when tenants leave. I don't like any of that stuff. And I found a strategy that eliminates it all, but I can still keep the cash flow. And most of all, I can pick up bigger financial commitments up front in the form of a down payment, and I can count on the cash flow that's coming in because it's a mortgage cash flow, not a rental cash flow. I used to own 25 rent houses, and I thought I was going to clear about $7,500 a month maximum on paper. Even I wasn't that naive. I knew that maybe I would have to pay for some repairs and some move outs. And so I was only counting on $3,500 of the $7,500, but I didn't even collect that. The liabilities that you are responsible for as a landlord start at the front mailbox and they go all the way to the back fence and all the way to the fence on both sides. Anything that breaks, it's coming out of your pocket. What made matters even worse is the people living in my houses didn't care. They didn't really have a big financial commitment. Maybe they just had $2,000 or $3,000 out of their pocket. And the first part of that out-of-pocket expense was the first month's rent. So it's not even mine. I mean, it was for what it was supposed to go to. So there was really no security in that deposit. The deposit was $1,500, $2,000 maybe. That didn't even pay for the carpet. And if your house has carpet, it's the first thing to go. And you can never recarpet a house for $1,500 or $2,000. So the deposits were almost worthless because they never covered the extent of the damage. So the biggest revelation in my entire career, in fact, what made my career, was that I started to notice the mindset and the way I was treated when I was dealing with tenants versus the mindset and the way I'm treated when I was dealing with owners. And it's night and day. Immediately, I started taking my black cloud houses or my worst problem tenants, and I started trying to convert them over into owner-financed buyers. Now, of course, I didn't want the exact tenant that was in there because if they were a problem as a tenant, they were going to be a problem as a buyer. So what I did was I moved them out completely, and then I started searching to replace them with a buyer that had a down payment and that had the means to make monthly payments for a long period of time, just like you and I do when we buy a house.